object that makes them feel safe or secure just by staring at it? Well, I do, and it's a mason jar. I made one, but it broke when I brought it on Wednesday. But what it is just a mason jar, and it's filled with rice. I fill it halfway, and then it has a little peanut off the side, and then I fill it up some more. Right in the center middle, I put a walnut, and then I keep filling up the rest with rice. And the mason jar relates to Catholic culture. That's what I'm a part of. And what it represents is God. And God in Catholic culture is our Heavenly Father, and whom we all depend on, and someone who we look for guidance. It's just someone that we depend on, and I'll explain how it goes through. So I'll talk about what exactly represents the rice, the peanut, and the walnut, and then I'll describe how it relates to Catholic culture, and then I'll explain why it's important to me. So first, I'll describe what the mason jar is. So first, the mason jar itself represents the world and how we're all part of it. And then each little rice represents problems, struggles, accomplishments, anything that happens to you in life, any kind of event. And then the peanut will represent myself, which is just off to the side in this mess of like the rice of the world. And then the walnut, which is right in the middle, is God. And now He's the center of everything and the reason for all that happens, whether good or bad. And it represents the culture because that's how we view it. Whether we're Catholics are going through any certain struggle, we say that it's God that happened to us because God made it for a reason. Whether it's something that we're going to bounce back of or something that's going to hold us down, but we know that it's something that He's teaching us a lesson and that we need to work ourselves through it because He will eventually give us a solution to our problems. How Catholics view life is just that God is someone that they will come down to, will go to when they want to thank them for everything that's happened to them, all that's good, or also want to tell Him that, or ask Him like why certain things are happening in their life, but they won't question Him because it depends on Him, and they put all their trust in God. Okay, how I'm related to the culture. Well, how it's like part of the culture. Well, I was born into the culture, so there's sacraments, and what sacraments are is basically like grade school in Bible school. So what it is, you go through each step, and eventually you learn more about His teachings and so on and so forth. And I've gone myself, and what it just teaches you about how to depend on Him and why we should, and basically the references on why we should believe in Him as much as we do. And why it's important to me is just when I made this, I made it on a retreat, and it just when it all came together, it proved to me that I do have a lot of conflicts in my life, a lot of struggles, a lot of accomplishments, a lot of things that I'm thankful for, but it's never something that I regret because I know that God's given it to me for a reason. He wants me to learn from it. He wants me to grow from it and all of that. He wants me to depend on Him and look for Him to guidance when I don't feel like everything's okay. So when I would look at it, I knew that it was something that would just give me hope and give me faith. So Catholic culture is important to me just because I was born into it, and I wouldn't want to go into any other kind of a culture because I've depended so much on it, and I believe in everything that it teaches, and it's just something that's so important to me, and I wouldn't see myself getting into any other kind of a religion. And so I talked to you about what the mason jar represents, why it's significant to me, and how it relates to the culture. And lastly, what I want to say is that I hope that this is my magnificent object that brings me happiness, and I hope that you as well, everyone in this room, have something, whether it be something like my mason jar, or something simple, a word or whatever it may be that brings you hope and faith as well.